Caricom Secretary General Ambassador Erwin Leroy tells regional and international stakeholders Caricom citizens and businesses need resilient energy systems at costs they can afford. Students sitting 2021 regional examinations given additional time to prepare. And the Caricom Secretariat's Renewable Energy Generation Project recommences. Welcome to this week's episode of the Caricom News Time. I'm Tusanki English Francis. Thank you for joining us. Caricom Secretary General Ambassador Erwin Leroy issued a call for partnerships to finance Caricom's $20 billion energy transition targets. Speaking at a high-level meeting on energy financing on May 27th, he said small island developing states can respond better to common constraints that were worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic and climate change with the help of accelerated clean energy transition. For this to happen, he said the region has to leverage the collective strengths of partners.
In essence, a new type of Marshall Plan for the energy sector is needed. The Caricom proposal, around which today's dialogue is focused, is only a part of what is required and outlines an investment pipeline of about $5 billion. In the proposal, member states present projects that can support their ambitions to exploit cost-effective indigenous renewable energy sources, to improve their power grids, to increase the application of distributed energy resources, including energy efficiency measures, and to integrate electric vehicles into the transport system.
The discussion attracted the participation of Caricom ministers of energy, heads of financial institutions, bilateral development partners, and the private sector. More on the energy front, a Japan grant aid project, which is expected to power the Caricom Secretariat through renewable energy, has restarted after COVID-19 protocols halted operations in April 2020. Launched in January 2020, the project was moving apace when the coronavirus pandemic struck. It is part of a wider initiative called the Introduction of Renewable Energy and Energy Conservation in Guyana and Caricom, financed by the government of Japan. The project includes the installation of 400 kilowatts of solar photovoltaic power generator to provide electricity to the Caricom Secretariat's building, a battery and power conditioning system for energy storage and power quality regulation. It also includes an advanced building energy management system to provide air conditioning controls, track energy efficiency, and indoor air quality. The project design is linked to the Caricom Energy Policy and the Regional Strategy for Sustainable Energy. We spoke with the Caricom Deputy Secretary General, Ambassador Manorma Suknandan, who has oversight of the project.
While we had stopped working on the ground, our meetings continued. And we've had frequent, regular meetings. And those meetings actually were about to assess the situation. That's one. But two, also to convince our counterparts to come back and that it is safe to come back. And in that, we have received a lot of support, assistance from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but also from the Ministry of Health and the Chief Medical Officer here in Guyana. Without them, you would not be seeing these activities today.
Students sitting the 2021 regional examinations were given 2 additional weeks of final preparations. Dr. Wayne Wesley, Registrar of CXC, recently announced the Caribbean Examination Council's decision to postpone all upcoming examinations by 2 weeks, following consultations with regional stakeholders.
Council approved the delay of the sitting of the regional examinations by a further 2 weeks. This will provide candidates with extra time to prepare for the examinations. Therefore, examinations will commence on Thursday, the 28th of June, 2021, with release of results the last week in September to the first week in October as previously communicated. Extension of submission of school-based assessment, SBA. The deadline for submission of SBA will be extended to 30th June 2021 for all CSET and CAPE examinations. In addition, the topics which were released on May 10th, 2021, territories would have submitted queries and Council would have noted that CXC is currently responding, and in this regard, a review is being done to ensure that there is full clarity regarding what has been submitted in terms of the broad topics.
Caricom's lead head on agriculture, His Excellency Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of Guyana, wants the region to adopt a more aggressive and cohesive approach to achieving food security.
The region's high food import bill, estimated at more than $4 billion per annum, and the Caribbean high dependence on food imports leaves it vulnerable to external shocks caused by sudden spikes in food commodity prices, as we are seeing today. The Caribbean must aim at becoming more food secure. This exercise must be sustained and must involve increased production of foods consumed within the region. But it must also entail increased extra-regional trade in agricultural commodities. The dismantling of barriers to the trade in agricultural commodities will enhance regional food security. If the region is to become more food secure, it has to begin to source more of its food needs from within the Caribbean, and this will require the removal of unnecessary non-tariff barriers to intra-regional trade. The solution exists. What is required is the political will and the financing to give effect to what needs to be done to develop the region's food systems. I believe that the time has come and the time is ripe for us to do so.
Dr. Ali was the keynote speaker at the Caricom Regional Dialogue on Food Systems held on May 28th. He described the dialogue as timely and relevant.
We cannot continue to eat third quality or second quality food when we can produce first quality food. We have to be brave. We have to be brave in addressing these issues. We can't walk along the sidelines anymore. We have to confront these issues as a region.
The Caricom Secretariat organized the forum in partnership with the United Nations resident coordinators, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the World Food Programme, and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. Prime Minister Mia Mottley of Barbados also delivered remarks at the forum.
We have so many things we can talk about, but the reality is that our simple focus must be how to put food on the table of our people throughout this region, and how to ensure that we have a stockpile of food for the many crises that are now confronting us. We've already seen what this awful pandemic can do to the disruption of supplies and food globally. In addition, we are 4 days away from the beginning of the hurricane season, which is likely to imperil at least one of our nation states with respect to agricultural production, either through wind or indeed floods. What does this tell us all? That our goal of 25 by 2025 probably needs urgent modification. I trust and pray that our region will accept that we need to expedite the process of producing as much food regionally as we can, and that we need to come together accepting that the true bread baskets of the region will be Guyana, Suriname, and Belize, but that does not remove from us, the rest of us, the obligation of producing as much food as we can. There are some difficulties that we have to confront. The first and foremost is the potential normal access to cheaper food from outside of the region, and therefore the question as to how we treat to the whole issue of food security, allowing us to anchor our domestic policies and our trade policies, becomes absolutely critical. We cannot afford to only have the need to grow food when there's a crisis. Our farmers need certainty to be able to produce food year-round.
The discussion will help to develop the region's position for its participation in the United Nations Food Systems Summit in September. For more on this story, head on to our news site at today.caricom.org. Now for an update of what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. State-owned NBC Radio reported that people are leaving public emergency shelters to return to their homes in areas adjacent to La Soufriere volcano. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines gave the all-clear for persons to return to some locations. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves said that the government would continue to provide humanitarian support as people resettle in their homes. While the government has not given the all-clear for persons to resettle in areas of the red zone, Prime Minister Gonsalves said that there could be limited activity with stringent regulations centered on safety. For more stories, you can visit the Caricom news site at today.caricom.org or the Caricom website at caricom.org. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.